Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about using up scraps, magazine cutouts, stuff from the recycling bin, even your painted paper. So these are my own papers that have been painted over. So today we're going to do a spread with a little bit of a mixed media background. So I have this perfect paper adhesive matte. I use several others. I use matte medium or gel medium. I have a bunch of others. We use glue sticks also. I use this Uhu glue stick sometimes too. Today we're going to use this. So I have this rubber spatula or whatever this is. It's flat on this side. Has a little bit of a rounded edge, but it's great for scraping paint. And what we're going to do is a quick mixed media background. I'm going to make this a double page spread, but I'm going to put a little bit of my Payne's Gray paint on here. And I'm just going to do some kind of a visual line right across the paper. Now, this spread before this page had washi tape on the edges. I'm not going to worry about that. So I just want some kind of a horizontal line here. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be straight. It doesn't have to be anything. That's that. And I'm going to put all my scraps there. This particular picture is one that I picked out as, I think she's the goddess of money. I'm just going to make her the goddess of money. How's that? I like the coloring. I printed this off the internet. As long as you're not going to sell your work, you can do that because it's yours in your journal. Nobody's going to see your journal and you're not selling it to make money. So lots of times you can find great things on the internet. By the time we're finished doing what we're going to do here, you're not going to recognize most of these things, even if you got pictures out of magazines or books or your recycling bin out of catalogs and things like that. I was just looking for an interesting picture. I get glue. I'm going to put a decent amount. Now, we don't care if this glue gets on top of this photo, and by that I mean this side. As long as you don't close your journal before it dries, it won't matter. And the way around that is just, if you do need to close your journal for some reason, stick either deli paper or wax paper over top of it. And then I just push and pull, making sure I get it all down. Now you can see this lifted, so I'm going to put a little more paint under there. So this is my focal point. That was the word I was trying to come up with before when I stumbled. So I wanted a focal point of some sort, something that my page is going to be about. Now, don't be too precious about these things. So I just want to smooth this out. So if I have to go back in later and fix this curled edge, I can. But you basically just want to make sure you don't have any bubbles. And this will dry. So this is now my focal point. Now, all we're doing is collaging. So I picked out some of these papers off of my desk. It's scrap paper. I love using scrap paper. This is an envelope. Clearly we got something in. And I kind of liked this letter. So I thought about using that. I kind of love these colors. I'm not sure about this. This is some paper that I had painted on with some words. I like to find, if I can find something black or with words on it, I like to put those in. I like the black and the white. Oh, and I have this piece of, Okay, so I think I have a plan now. So all we're going to keep doing is gluing. Don't become too precious about your collage elements, because this is just strictly so you have a background. We're going to work and probably cover a lot of them up. You might not even recognize a lot of them. Sometimes it's hard to save what you have going on in these things. Now, again, this doesn't dry real quick, but it will dry. So you can see I'm already overlapping. My goal is to kind of anchor all these pieces of paper down into our journal spread, whatever that means for us. So I'm going to try to go, sometimes I love this idea of going between the pages a little bit. It helps reinforce things. I don't necessarily like things all straight. I might just do this way anyway. Again, you could put the glue right on your paper if you wanted and spread it out. Or you could put it right on your book. Now, this is gonna curl because it's thin paper and it does that. Which way did I have it? It will be fine. I like my book all nice and thick. So I might get real terry with these edges. I love this ragged edge look. There's a little bit of red writing up there. I think I'm gonna kind of tear out. So sometimes if the writing like says something that I'm not sure I really like what it says, or I'll just turn it upside down. Then your brain doesn't register it the same. I think I'm just gonna put some glue here. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Nice and coated. And I wanted it upside down. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't do two in the fold like this, but for this one, I wanted to. I wanted this over top. Okay. Again, we're just anchoring them in. Now, whatever I used on here is smearing. Can you see it? I don't worry about those things. Now I know I just want to let that dry. I might take my cloth and kind of damp this up a little bit so it's not too thick there. But I'm not going to worry about that. This will dry matte. It won't be as shiny when it dries. I've already told you that I like black in my spreads, so the black smearing isn't going to bother me at all. Let's see if this will work here. This is the inside of an envelope. This is from the recycling bin. Anything that lifts when I come back, I can, once this is dry, this black won't run anymore. But anything that's lifting, you can come back and do it after it dries, you know, secure it down again. Now, I need to wait for this to dry to do much else. Oh, I also, because I thought she was the money goddess, I had this gold envelope. I think I'm going to try to use some of that. So I'm just tearing. Now this went over a little, that's fine. So what we're going to do is we really want this to dry. You can see this is rippling a little bit. This is deli paper, it will do that. Now the idea is we want to let this dry. So I'm doing it on camera. I'm not going to let it dry. You're going to do better than me and you're going to let it dry. So now I'm going to pick a paint color, use paint on top of this and kind of anchor these things in. Actually, I feel like when I look at this, I want to add more of something. I have this piece of deli paper. I don't want everything all the same height. I kind of want different also. You would let this dry. I'm going to rush right in with paint just to show you the kinds of things that we can do. So I'm going to just do a little of this blue, maybe right here. Now, I kind of want to, like I said, this is a lot now, but I want to anchor these in. Don't feel too precious with what you've got going on. Don't be afraid to cover things up. And then you can almost feather it in with your fingers. Yes, things show through. That's the beauty to it. And you can kind of feather this out. And you could do blocks of color, different blocks of color, different things that might go. And I'm going to put, ooh, okay, mistakes happen. Not a problem. So I have white here, and actually I'm going to take a piece of my paper and I'm going to wipe the paint. So this is my deli paper. I'm just going to wipe that excess paint off. I don't worry that this is here because that will just get worked into the design, or I'll cover it up with extra paint. So you just make it look like it's part of the design. Baby wipes are your friend. I love baby wipes. And while the paint is still wet, you can generally wipe things off with your baby wipes. This is the golden acrylics. This is titanium white. Another way to anchor things in. Now we're just going to keep working this. You could collage the whole page, or as I have done here, just this little section. We're going to paint over it, add on it. You'll see over time what happens to this page. So this is just the beginning. All I've done is use scraps, magazine pieces, things that I've cut out. I like that rip and tear effect, and that's what's on here. By the time we get finished, there could be paint all over the place. This week, all you should do is take collage pieces, go to your recycling bin, find old magazines or books or catalogs, things that you don't want anymore, rip up pieces of it and make yourself a little collage. Find a focal point. So this is my focal point for this page. This is what my page maybe is going to be about. This is our paint page for today. You want to leave this open until it's dry. You do not want to close this because you'll glue your pages together. That would be disastrous. If you have to go, you could put this in between, but it's a good idea to leave this. This is very wet, and let this dry. You can see it's less shiny already. Okay, that's your lesson. I will see you on the next video. Take care, everyone.